Hello, Frank, brand
Howdy.
strategist at large.
Brand Strategist at large.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, Amanda. It's Friday and I'm excited. How are you doing?
I'm really good. It's Friday and it's starting to feel like fall outside.
Ooh,
I
it is.
post them about. I love it.
You know me. I'm a fall person. I love it.
I know.
Excited.
Awesome. Well, today we're going to talk about positioning, which I think is kind of like a nebulous term for people to think about. Kind of hard to understand, but we're going to talk about it a little bit today, why it matters, how you should look at it, and really kind of what it means. So the first question is, like, for brands, why is positioning so important?
Yeah. It's a great question, I think, because it's funny. I was reading through a book recently, Al Reese and Jack Trout, which the book is called Positioning. And I could be wrong on this, but that terminology came out through them. That was a big thing they noticed on brands that were coming out with these Me Too products. And positioning was necessary to get people to pay attention to certain products. And so for brands even today, that same concept is very timeless and it holds true. I think for brands today, no matter their space, positioning is really getting to some point, some spot in your customer or prospect's head in a way that's like, hey, this brand does this. So whenever they need that type of solution and that specific solution, they think of you. And that's really, there's so much noise, right? So much noise in the market space and marketplace, I'm sorry. And positioning is just one of the most effective and impactful ways of making sure that you come to someone's mind immediately when they're looking for a certain type of solution.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I really liked about what you said is that your claim to fame can't be that you do something like somebody else does, like a Me Too product. You have to say, I do something my way, and this is what makes it different or better. I think that's super important. You know, like when companies are thinking about positioning though, I know there's a lot of things to keep in mind, and it might not just be like, oh, how does our competition do it, or how can we be different from them? But there's a lot of things to keep in mind. So what are some things that brands should keep in mind as they're starting to think about and develop their positioning?
Yeah. It really, you said it earlier in the call, positioning can be seen as this very nebulous kind of big thing, or people don't really know where to start, or they don't know how to view it. Yeah. And I'm definitely not, we never really need to reinvent the wheel at this point, but I think a good way of thinking about it, or at least how I've seen it play out with so many brands, is really just two ways, internal and external. So you have your internal positioning and external positioning. I would say that internal, for example, is, so for brands that have a really unique product, right? We're in kind of a new age of innovation, or they're first to market in something, and what they're doing is very, very unique and innovative. I would say they might offer an internal position, which is, hey, here's what we do. We offer this thing, this type of solution, and it solves this problem. It's really new, it's solving something, and you need people to understand what that is. So that's internal. The second would be external positioning. External is much more, if you probably came from a Me Too product, if you know, let's say you're in more of a horizontal market, or you make a Me Too product and you're going after a certain application, your external positioning is, who are we for, right? So one for creative, at the end of the day, marketing is marketing. We all do it differently. We may have different clients we work with, but there's certain areas that we want to work with because we know their industry best. And so the way you would say that is, you know, we do this for X person, we do this for X industry. So you're kind of going the specialist route. So just to recap, internal positioning, it's, hey, this is a unique service, solves a unique problem. We are this, we offer this. External positioning is, you know, we probably offer a Me Too product, but we do it uniquely for these type of people or these type of companies.
Yeah, I really like that. And kind of like, obviously we're a StoryBrand certified agency, and kind of tying it back to that thought process, like the external positioning is about your audience. It's about your external people, and your internal positioning, you know, that's to get your team on board and to help them understand your process and why you do it so well, and you know, who you are. But really an external audience cares more about their problem than they care about how you fix it. So I think that is pretty clear.
And even I would just say, even the internal one shouldn't be like, we are great, we are this, we are that. Yeah. It's just more so, it's like, it's a product that solves a broad problem and it's new. So it's like, hey, here's what we offer, and here's how that impacts you. Here's why it makes your life better. So it's still about the customer. I should be clear about that too. It's just applied differently for sure.
Yeah, and it's part of what builds authority.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what do you think would be the best time to offer internal versus external positioning?
It's a great question. Like we just talked about, you brought up a great point. It should always be based on the customer. I think we've learned that. Any marketer that's been around in the last 5-10 years has hopefully learned like it needs to be about the customer. But I think that internal positioning, we offer this, like we talked about, is really if you're either in a horizontal market, so maybe someone like Amazon or Walmart, they're in a huge horizontal market, but what they brought to market is Amazon is like, we want, their mission is around, we want to be the easiest place to go for commerce for any customer. And so it's kind of around that, we offer this for you. We solve this problem, this unique problem for you that no one else has before. So if that's you, if you're offering something very, very unique, it's not, confused with something else, you want to offer a position that's maybe solving a new problem or introducing a solution to a problem people didn't even know they had. For an external position, or if you're going to position yourself that way, if you're for someone, is again, if you are kind of self-aware and you're like, what, we do something that a lot of people do, but we maybe either just do it differently or we do it for a certain subset of people, that's when I might change your position to, we're this for these type of people. Like I saw something the other day that was for, it was a video series and content for business marketers, and they had a slogan that was the Netflix for B2B, or the Netflix for I think it was like business professionals. And that's using positioning, but it's using it in a way that's like, we're this thing that but we're for these people. We're not just a repeat.
I like that a lot.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, those could be two ways of thinking about it for sure.
Do you have a favorite?
I don't, because I think it really depends, right? Like that's our job as brand people, is always reading the room and reading the context. I think it really depends. I might lean towards internal solely because most of the time that's usually a pretty innovative product, right? Like you're first to market in something and you have an innovative product where you have to be like, hey, we offer this unique solution. Usually those brands are just more fun because they're not usually offering a Me Too product or something like that. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. But just for that sake, but I think that, our job is to make sure that we're using the right strategy or the right positioning for the right client, and making sure that it's setting them up for the most success.
That's a super good point. Cool. Yeah. Frank, thank you. This is super fun to chat with you today.
Oh, it's always fun. I love it. It's Friday morning. I get to talk to my favorite person. So this is a blast. Thank you.
Love it. See you later.